side on the start of that one, so they'll call it back, and they're already lights out, ready to go green this time around. Here we go, replay. Looks like deja vu again. Oh, hard bumper from that wasn't pretty. That was not a pretty start.
Uh-oh. Well, you know what? That's perfect. As much as I hope Bodley's not injured or the car injured, I'll tell you why that's a perfect thing to happen right now, because now we can have another restart, because that start was terrible. The last time I saw a start that bad, it was a kid's foot race, and we let the little kids take off 10 feet before the older kids.
Yeah, that was definitely ugly. Looks like the 7X of Trevor Steed getting into the back bumper really hard of the number 44, Jason Bodley, there before the start of the race. They were still pacing at that point, so I don't know what the deal was there. Maybe something transferring over from that initial start where they had to be called back. And Bodley now stopped at the top side of turn 4.
And the 7X of Trevor Steed pulled off. And I'm not sure why he pulled off yet. Maybe there's a problem on the car. Maybe. You know what I think happened under those pace laps when he got into the back of Bodley? I think he was just expecting the race to start. Bodley didn't go, and he was ready to go and go on the gas pedal.
Yeah, definitely a case of the leaders probably being a little bit more careful about going, because they did call back that first initial start. So I don't know. That was heavy contact though for both of those machines. You obviously see exited the racetrack. Bodley stopped on the top side of turn 4 up there, but he got it back going. Looks like he's going to go back into his spot.
All right, so So 7X Steed had a flat tire. They're changing the flat tire. And what they're going to do is they're going to get that the tire changed and brought back out. Since we are calling it back, the initial start, and we have 0 laps in the books, Steed will get to come right back out. As the initial start rules here at Urinum Capital Speedway do say you can go back in even without a hot pit on the initial start to change a tire.
Oh, I was not aware of that. That's an interesting rule right there. So officials warning the drivers right now that they need to start to behave, or else they will be pulled off the racetrack. Definitely needed here early in this main event. We still don't even have one official lap in the books. Just having trouble getting going at the moment, Gary.
Well, you know, Spencer, manual race car drivers, so we can openly discuss just how childish we can be in the race car sometimes. And you know, we forget that we're behind the wheel of a 2,500-pound machine in these guys' case, and that you can bump and bang a little bit, but you know, sometimes you've got to be warned, hey, you're getting a little too rough.
Yeah, and it's really easy for tempers to flare in these machines. I mean, these drivers, they put their hearts and soul into these races, and it's not just at the track either. It goes unseen how many hours of just pure man work goes into these race machines on a week-to-week basis in the shop. The many races are won in the shop. That's one thing that I was always taught growing up as a kid, and I didn't really understand that until I got into like the mini sprints and the sprint cars and some of my NASCAR experience running in California. But it is so pivotal to have your stuff together at the shop. I mean, you can come out to the track and you kind of have an okay car every week, but to be out there competing for wins every single time you hit the track, it takes hard work and dedication and a lot of people backing you.
And it looks like Steed is going to come back out on the raceway right now in that 7X machine. He better get on the throttle, though, because the class is pulling away from him. I'm not sure what's going on with Steed, but we're not going to go green flag racing. He better get out of the way. Slow down. Do not go. So we're not sure what happened with Steed right there. He came out and just it didn't go. So we're going to get these cars to go single file back around until we get Steed fired back off. We'll get him lined back up. Unfortunate for Steed, coming out of Sholo, I believe. So we'll see if we can get that car fired up and going again. Hopefully it will happen because we haven't even gotten started yet. And it's very depressing when you see a car pull off before the start of even a race.
Yeah, unfortunately, we already have a lot of action here early, not even one lap in the books, but green flag back out. Here we go again. Let's see if we can get one in the books at least. Johnny Carey going out to an early lead in turn 1 and 2. Bobley on the top side. And Wardline in third. Heavy battling. Oh, one car around, and that is not going to be an official lap.
And that's Tyler Steed, and I'm assuming, again, I'm just assuming that the Steeds are related, either brother, father, son, I'm not really sure. We think they're brothers, but unfortunately, Tyler around back there on the backstretch, not sure what happened. But that means that we didn't get an official lap, which means if we can get Steed's other car fired up, he could rejoin the field.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the extent of damage is on the other Steed machine down there, sitting in the infield of turns 3 and 4, but if he did get refired, he would be allowed to rejoin the field in his original starting, or excuse me, he'd probably have to go to the rear because he did come in. But nonetheless, supposedly brother Steed, sitting on the back straightaway, got a little bit of contact from Jeremy Bodley in the 44
Let's just hope these guys can calm it down a little bit and save some car for tomorrow night. You know, I mean, we all like to see close racing, and I know there's some fans here who come to see the wrecks. However, we don't want to lose cars, especially in a class of 6 cars. We want to make sure we get them all back here tomorrow night.
Yeah, and as a driver, you never want to see cars get wrecked. But if it does have to happen, if there is some damage that does occur, you hope that it would be the second night of a 2-day show instead of the first, that you can continue to have the car count throughout the weekend. Because nobody wants to go out there and just race with like 2 other cars. I mean, there's no driver in the pits, I hope, that go to another track hoping that it's just them and one other car or something. Because that's just not competitive.
Well, now we're hearing word that the 42D may have a flat tire. Depending on what tire it is, he may allow to be able to continue. It does not look like it's the right front or the right side, so I would tell you that depending, it would not be an issue for that machine to continue going even with a flat tire. And I'm just not seeing a flat tire, folks.
No, we don't have a flag.
Now, the 7 car there has got a nose that's bouncing around. It looks like he may have a problem there with his machine with the front end, but I'm not sure what it is. We got it fired up though. Let's hope he rejoins the field. That would be terrible for both Steed brothers to come out here and neither one even be able to start the main event.
Yeah, I mean, with how much action we've already had going on, it's hard to imagine that we have 0, let me repeat that, 0 laps in the books for this main event at the moment. Donnie Carey out front at the moment in the 42D. It's a battle of the fitters at the moment. Looks like the 44J of Jeremy Bodley still out there. Jason Bodley as well. Jason should be starting the second in this main event once we go green. And Clyde Boardwine in the Double X still out there as well.
You know, some of the best street stock, pro stock races I've ever seen at this racetrack occurred between Clyde Boardwine and Donnie Carey. And I remember times when the police had to come out to keep the two separated because they were ready to kill each other. I mean, these guys, they race each other harder than I've ever seen anybody race before. I have just gotten word, folks, that Tyler Steed in the 7 car is in hot pit. So, okay, so now I'm being told he did go to his pit. He is done. So he's in his pits, he's done. So we're ready to line up 4 cars. Let's just hope. Let's just hope that they get going again, and we can actually get a lap in. Okay, so they are changing tires. They're not in the hot pit area. Apparently, we didn't get proper word to them, but that does mean that he's done for the night. We think we're checking with that, making sure on the rules here. However, we haven't technically started the race yet, so it's that fine line in the rule book. Very fine line in the rule book here. Alright, so we have a complete restart. The 7 car is fired up and heading back to the racing surface. Let's hope that they let him back on just to help car count.
And this is a very interesting situation, folks. So the designated hot pit area is located right over there off of turn 4. That's where crews are supposed to change tires, do any maintenance work while the race is going. But because we have no laps in the books, Steed is going to be allowed to go and rejoin the field, even though he pitted at his actual trailer out in the pits. So very interesting situation here, but still no laps in the books. 1 to go, here we come to green.
Well, it all has to depend on what rule we're reading in the book. But here we go, green flag racing, Donnie Carey and Clyde Irwin jumping. So we've got Donnie and Clyde racing again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not excited about that, I don't know what will get you excited. However, Donnie Carey seems to be pulling away. And Clyde Borderline trying to catch back up. You got the there goes Clyde around. And that is the 4th time tonight that we will have a restart. I thought these were pro stocks.
That's what I thought too. Definitely, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. I really don't. Definitely having trouble getting this one started. I want to say great job by Jason Bodley avoiding that one. He was heavy on the brakes there in turn 4 as Clyde Borderline went around, and just got word that they are cutting the main event laps down to 10. Now we are only going to run 10 laps for this main event, and hopefully we can get it running.
Well, you know, you gave them 4 chances. This is chance number 5. So at chance number 5, I've always been a strict believer that every time we have to restart a race, you cut 2 laps. Every single time you cut 2 laps. Now, if it's a caution, 10 laps into the race, you don't worry about it. But if it's on the first start, you cut 2 laps. So that's what we did. We cut 2 laps. I didn't have any decision on that, but the judges and scorers did. We want everyone to be able to get home, get a decent night's sleep, and come back tomorrow night.
Yeah, another thing to keep in mind, they don't carry that much fuel on these cars. So you got to have fuel in the window too.
You do, and we're coming on to green flag racing at turn number 4. Donnie Carey gonna show it away. This time he's got Brother Bobby coming in behind him. And then you got Steed back there in 4th. Steed fighting that car. Looks like it's a little tight in the center and the apex off. Well, I'll tell you who's not is Clyde Borderline. Clyde Borderline making his way on the outside of the raceway right now. Donnie Carey showing the way in the 42D. You got the 44s in second. The 7 and the triple X or double X. I can't tell whether it was double or triple tonight. Clyde Borderline bringing it career.
Yep, so Donnie Carey out front now, showing them how to do it. Completing lap 2 of this 10-lap main event. Then you got both the Bodleys running second. Jason Bodley has it. Jeremy Bodley wants it really bad here, going into turn 3 and 4. Behind them, that's going to be Clyde Borderline in the double X, and rounding out the field, way sideways is Steed in the 7. Well, and keep in mind that the red 44 is a street stock that he's running with the pro stocks. They changed the carburetors between the races, and now here he is with a 4-wheel carburetor on this machine. And now he's up here running with the pro stocks, and he's doing extremely well right now, holding on the second.
And Clyde Birdwine took a lot of time off to run mud bogs, and I don't think he's quite gotten the feel of that car back.
Well, he was really comfortable in the heat race then. Definitely a little bit of mud bogging going on early on, but the track has come in, and it's come in great tonight at the Uranium National Speedway. This will be lap number 6 as they come back around.
Well, and Donnie Carey just showing the way. Steve gets way sideways in the entrance of turn 2. Donnie Carey goes to the high side, drives right around him like a pro. Donnie Carey now will be setting his sights to try to lap that Triple X machine and see if he can catch up to him. A very good, very fast looking race car tonight. And we'll see what the brothers can happen. They're still back there fighting for that second position. Even though they're just playing follow the leader right now, I have to believe when the white flag comes out that they won't be.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be gloves off once that white flag flies. And Steed, once again, having problems. Looks like, to me, possibly that left front actually on the nose of that 7 machine. We did see that nose flopping around quite a bit as it came back around backwards on the front straightaway. But not yet. It is lap number 42. We have Donnie Carey. Donnie Carey out front in the 42.
Well, and I'm seeing the red boggling machine moving around a lot, and his brother's just following him. He might have been able to have a run coming out of 4, but didn't make it happen. Donnie Carey now putting a lap on Clyde Birdwine. Clyde coming to a stop on the exit of turn 4. Obviously problems on that machine, and there's the caution flag. So that'll bunch the field back up.
And as you see it, ladies and gentlemen, Clyde Birdwine with a blown right rear. Blown right rear here with 8 laps in the book of this 10-lap main event. That should make for an interesting last couple of laps.
Well, you know, this track is a right rear eating machine. It really is. When I ran the street stock out here in 2009, 2010, most of my DNFs came from a right rear. And a lot of stock car guys will run tubes in their right rear. Well, this track creates so much grip that I would actually spin the wheel inside the tire, and I would suck the tube in and cut the nipple on the tube off. So all of a sudden, I'd have a flat tire, and I couldn't figure it out. So we finally were able to figure it out. So it's looking like we're going to have a green-white checkered. No? No, we're not. Okay, we're doing 15 laps, so we only cut 5 laps off. We thought we were cutting 10. Apparently, we decided only to cut 5. But that's okay. So we got 15 laps, which means we have 6 laps to go. Donnie Carey, way out front. And then you got Brothers Bodley. And I have to think that that inside line is coming in more and more.
Yeah, definitely. Throughout the night, that bottom line has come in just a little bit more and more and more and more. This is one of the only racetracks that I've seen that actually has a track that does that with the racing line. It's very interesting. It seems like it runs in kind of in the middle, and the track just widens out both ways, where conventionally on a dirt track, everything kind of starts at the bottom and starts to slowly move its ways up. So, with that being said, drivers being shown the one to go this time around. Donnie Carey gonna lead him. Bodley Brothers, then it's gonna be Steve and Birdwine.
And now I can see that is a double X on Clyde Birdwine's machine. He is a lap down, and he does have to start at the back of the field, but him and Steed are still racing for 4th place. So we've got a race for 2nd and a race for the lead, possibly coming down to the green flag right now. Coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be Donnie Carey in the lead, and look at Bodley make a slide job on his first. And he's going to go ahead and take over 2nd. I guess he got tired of following him, huh?
Oh yeah, you definitely have a short patience as the laps wind down. Just going to be 5 laps to go as they come across the line this time. Donnie Carey in the lead. Bodley, then it's going to be Birdwine. And whoa, watch out, Steve. He's going to go around right there, turn 3 and 4. once again, caution flag, Gary. We have been plagued by caution flags in this main event. I'm not really too sure why. It's only 6 cars, but they're just getting a little bit antsy.
Well, as you know from driving, cautions breed cautions. So every time you get a caution, you're going to get more and more frustration on the part of the drivers. Not just that, but then the longer we go out here, the more fuel you burn, the more weight you lose out of the back of your car, the drier the track gets. So everything is working against you when you have a caution. So all of a sudden, your setup's going away, the track conditions are going away, where you thought was a good line's going away, plus wherever somebody spins out creates a possible rut, which means now you have another obstacle.
Yeah, and it just, it works on the drivers. Every caution flag that happens just brings a little bit more frustration to the table, and it just makes it hard to deal with. And with how many caution flags we've had tonight, I think it's almost in the double digits. This is caution flag number 9, I believe. It just makes it so hard for these drivers. The cars are already running hot, especially with these closed body cars. You're already watching water temps the whole entire race. Just as much as NASCAR guys watch the mirror, these guys are watching their water gauges. And that's why I guarantee after this race, if you look over in the pit area, you'll see at least half of these guys come in and hose their cars off. Now, they aren't washing off that mud. They're trying to cool down the radiator is what they're doing with their cold water down there. And it's just because these cars run so hot because the front of their cars, which is the only area where the radiator gets any air, usually gets caked over with mud, as you see with at least the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place machines. I guarantee they're running just a little bit hot right now. And that, along with every other frustration that comes with each yellow flag, just makes it that much more difficult for these drivers. These are the best in the Southwest. I mean, they are working this track from top to bottom and doing a great job, even though they have a